starting out, we're looking at my connection tracking template here, my networking contacts. And of course, I've got some people on here who I obviously am not networking with these people, but it's for point of illustration. Here's how I set this up. And as I've said before, some of this comes out of the 525-150 method to networking that I shared with you before. And some of this is my own stuff, and it's tied to my process for networking. And as I go through this, I'll explain how I do it and why I use it. This is just an example. Again, you're going to put the people you know into this template or something that's like this. And so what we've got is a list of contacts here. And in the category, I've got the 525-150 category. This is just a way to bucket your contacts. The 5 being the 5 people who you're going to connect with the most and try to help the most. Then the next 25, then the next 150. Again, just a way to categorize people. Under the status, I've got a couple different statuses here. If it's somebody who you just added to the list and there's somebody you want to get in touch with, it would be who do you know? Then if you've reached out to them, different statuses here. Again, this ties to my networking method. So the first step actually would be connecting online, then meeting in real life, listening and giving, and then being easy to help. And then the last status is you've already talked to somebody, there's somebody that you connect with, and you want to make it a habit to stay in touch with them. This, again, just tells you where you are in the process with each person. Then you have the name, the last touch, which means the last time you talked to them, which you can go in here and put a date. Any notes about the person, I use this to remind myself how I know them, what's the last time I talked to them. And then lists is another categorization I use to say who they are. Are they somebody I worked with in the past? Are they currently searching for a job? Are they somebody I would want on my team in the future? These are just some ways to categorize people so you can go back and look for groups of people or remind yourself how you know them. And then current company, next follow-up. Of course, if you go to any of these and you click and you open it, and this is in Notion, by the way, again, I showed you this in the last episode that I've built this in Notion. You'll see all this, and you can open this up and type in this information this way. Again, you can put in an email. When I say gifts, what I mean is what can you give this person? What is it they're looking for? How can you help them? That's what that means. Next follow-up date, when do you want to get back in touch with them? And I use this to schedule when I'm going to reach out to people. So once I have people on the list, I'll say I want to follow up with this person in the next 2 weeks. And as you can see over here in the table, the next follow-up date is how I have this sorted. So if I put somebody in for tomorrow, they're going to be near the top of the list. If I say in 2 months, they're going to be near the bottom of the list. Social media profiles, the status, and then I like this comment section here in this note or this entry in the table. I'll put in the comments of when was the last time I talked to them, if I'm trying to set up a in-person meeting with them, when that meeting is, all those kind of things. I'll add those in the comments. It's a real easy, quick way to make updates to this. Okay, of course, if you come back to the list, again, it shows it at this table, as this table here, and then you can also look at it as a board, which means it categorizes it by the 5, 25, 150. This is a really quick way to see how many people you have in each bucket as you build your list. That's the basic list. Really simple, really easy to get into, really easy to update. If you add a new person, you just click new and then update the status, the categories, all this information, piece of cake, you've got a new contact.